In this video, I'm going to the second largest city in Korea, Busan, to try the city's most expensive buffet that costs $115, and also try possibly the most affordable buffet in the city that only costs $5. How do they compare and which place should you go to? Watch the video to find out. Okay, why don't we start with the affordable place? I found this buffet restaurant on the internet. I am pretty sure they're open. Their sign's peeling off. It just means it's authentic. Alright then, come with me guys. Costing only $6.10 per person, this buffet serves a ton of freshly made Korean food for a price of a Big Mac. I do not like it when a buffet restaurant has a tiny plate. This place has a massive plate. Alright, time to pick up some food. Oh, they got some white rice and black rice. Let's get some of them black rice. Black rice might sound a little weird to some of you guys. It's just a different kind of rice that has its own flavor. If you go to traditional restaurants in Korea, you'll often find black rice being served. By the way, I'm really digging the vibe of this restaurant. The restaurant environment was a little aged but extremely clean, and it's really meant for the working class people that needs lots of calories. Because believe it or not guys, outside of K-drama, we got people that aren't gorgeous billionaires. I know, it's hard to believe when you're literally looking at a gorgeous billionaire like your good Uncle Jimmy. Gotta pick up some kimchi before the South Korean government takes my citizenship away. Broccoli. They have this spicy sauce to go with the broccoli. I wanna get some mushrooms. Mushroom. They got some ham with eggs. I used to love that as a kid. Oh my god, I want each one of them. Bean sprouts, pretty popular dish in Korea. Maybe just a little bit of that 콩나물. Look at these anchovies. Maybe I shouldn't tell you guys this, but 멸치, which means anchovy in Korea, is also used as a derogatory term to describe a skinny person in Korea. You guys shouldn't say it because words can be violent, but then violence sure feels nice sometimes. Anyway, here's one of my favorite things that they had. Pretty unbelievable. They have suyu, really good source of protein. For them to have this at this price range, it's pretty unthinkable. I think it's really cool. Wow. That's gotta be enough for round one. Let's go enjoy the heck out of it. Not the most beautiful presentation, but I think I'm going to like it. Just love the everyday people vibe of this restaurant. Shall I start? So in Korea, you can often see this kind of super affordable lunch buffet. It's really meant for the working class people that work in small businesses or in construction sites. Based on my experience, they're anywhere from like $6 to maybe $9. And the quality can really vary. Just by the look of the restaurant, the variety that they have, the visual quality of the food, this is probably one of the best budget buffet that I've seen. I am especially impressed with the fact that they have this suyu, that is good lean meat with the samjang. Yeah, I feel like my bicep just got an inch thicker. So in Korea, we often make this side dish with teeny anchovies. Talking about anchovies, I have a story to tell. It's about my kindergarten. My kindergarten had this weird thing where if you go there, the teachers would take off our t-shirts. Like we would spend the entire day shirtless. Now, I wish I'm making this up. I'm not making this up. Boy, girl, all of us. And like they would take us jogging through the local park where there's like other people. I didn't feel like there's anything weird about it, to be honest. And their thing was, this is to build a strong immune system. I think to a degree, it can be backed by science too. Having a lot of cold exposure as a kid. But anyway, myself, my parents, the teachers, and the local people that are in the park, none of us thought it was weird. At the end of the jog, we'd come back to the kindergarten, right? And the teachers would hand out dried anchovies for us to grow taller and stronger. Hey, say what you want about my kindergarten, but I think you guys are looking at a pretty strong boy right here. Imagine if they were doing the same immune system training routine to this day. That would put a lot of people in prison. What I also like to do it to you is I take some of this buchu. I'm not sure what to call this in English. Grab with the buchu. Love this store-bought ham. A little salty because the ham's salty, but I like it. You know, there's people on the internet that say nice things about a restaurant just because it's like a mom and pop local small business restaurant. Me, I'm pretty ruthless and I like to be honest. I'm not gonna say I like certain things just because it makes me look like a nicer person. But let me tell you, this restaurant, they're doing their shit right. Good food, no BS. A lot of times when you go to an affordable restaurant in Korea, their ingredients are terrible. Their meat is like 90% blob and their food is like all soggy. But this restaurant, this is really good Korean homemade food.
That being said, let's go for a second round.
So they have rice noodles here. I'm gonna take a good chunk. And that is the soup for my guksu or noodles. And my friends, that is my janchiguksu. I believe the broth is mainly anchovy and radish based. You guys know I never run out of stories. And I have a story about this noodle as well. So janchiguksu translates to party noodles. That's because they used to serve this a lot in Korean traditional weddings. And back when I was a little boy, my parents owned a business. And the business was running a wedding venue. It's kind of ironic because their own marriage was, you know, kind of rough, but they arranged a lot of weddings for a lot of people. Now it's become more popular to have a catered buffet lunch for weddings, but back in the days, most weddings in Korea used to serve this janchiguksu. So as a kid, I used to eat this a lot every weekend. The flavor hasn't changed. The noodles extremely soft. How do I have so many stories? I'm like your perfect uncle. Even better, all of my stories are true stories too.
The janchiguksu was simple, but it tasted amazing, and I'm still not full. So let's go get some more food, except this time I want to do some cooking.
This is like the most adorable French toast ever.
There's a little cooking station here for instant noodles, because guess why? We Koreans love instant noodles.
I love these. It's kind of crazy, but you can boil your own instant noodle here. I've been a Korean for long enough. I know how to do this. A water purifier here. I'm gonna get hot water, fill it up. Supposedly these pots that you can find in Korea, they do a really good job of like conducting heat. So when you want instant noodle and you want it to be like instant, you use one of those. There's my instant noodle. I'll take this with me. Oh, follow me. The artistic side of me demands that I make it more special, more unique, more fabulous. I'm gonna put some kimchi in there and add some lean suyuk to it. So it's kind of like chashu ramen, you know what I mean? I must be a genius. That looks amazing.
Don't deny it, guys. You guys think it's amazing too.
Yeah, that pork adds so much to this instant noodle. Yeah, I feel like some K-drama character. 라면 먹고 갈래? I have suyuk in it too. By the way, this is kind of a random topic, and this might be just my experience, but I feel like a lot of the times when I talk to Koreans and we talk about our upbringing, they're either like, oh, my family used to be like so wealthy, we used to be like so rich, or my family used to be like so broke, I used to eat instant noodle every day. It's like, there's no in between, and I have a hard time believing either story.
Looks like I'm about to be done with my noodles. When you almost finish your instant noodles, here's something that you have to do.
Oh, it looks like there's some soup left. And as a good Korean, what do? I scoop up some good white rice, dump it in there, and now we got some extra flavor, extra calories, but more importantly, no food waste. Oh God, it's so good. Nah, I think that's enough food for me, but I need a dessert, preferably something traditional. Well, over here in this cooler, oh, it's frozen hard. I love this thing called shike. It's like a Korean traditional beverage. It's made from rice. It's super sweet. There's actual grains of rice in it. It might sound a little weird to you guys, but it's very good. That was fantastic. Oh, wouldn't mind some coffee. Wait, do I have to bring my own cup? Oh. Oh God. Some Korean shike and some American coffee. Wait, is coffee American? Now that's a perfect way to end the meal. Super sweet and creamy. I guess that's considered a latte, right? All right, overall, pretty amazing deal. I think I liked every one of it. 아, 감사합니다. 잘 먹었습니다. 안녕히 계세요. 아, 너무 잘 먹었습니다. 아, 네, 잘 먹었어요. 감사합니다. 안녕히 계세요. 네, 안녕히 계세요. They had a really good variety, great quality, and the price point was pretty unbelievable. I think I liked pretty much everything that they had in the restaurant.
So I'm about to go to the more expensive buffet now. And listen, that is a lot of money for me. Here's one way that you guys can help me pay for it, and that is, of course, by listening to my songs on Spotify. Now, you might be wondering how much I'm really making from these songs, so let me tell you how much I made in October. And it looks like I made $750. I don't know what that sounds like to you guys. To me, that sounds like a ton of money. I spend a lot of money on creating my contents, so it would be fantastic if you guys can go listen to one of my playlists and get Spotify to pay me. My short-term goal is to reach 10,000 monthly listeners. I'm like 2,000 away from that. Let's see if we can make that happen, okay? Alright, let's go to the buffet.
Okay, this time I'm gonna try something that is completely different. A buffet restaurant that costs 18 times more than the one that I just went to. When you see weird art pieces in the lobby, you know it's gonna be insanely expensive. Costing $112 for dinner, this is known as the most expensive buffet in the city of Busan. It was so fancy that their bathroom had hand towels and hand lotion. I can't speak on their food yet, but they sure have a nice view.
Man, that's priceless. Just kidding. It's like $100.
So the most expensive buffet in the city, I hope it's amazing. By the quick looks of it though, it just might be able to satisfy your good Uncle Jimmy. So let's pick up some food, shall we?
Even the plate here is nice. I'm gonna take this sashimi, squid ink brioche. Oh, they have some gochujang sauce stingray. I don't know if I'm gonna like stingray meat, but that's for Steve Irwin, motherfucker. So that is beef sashimi, yukhae, with pear. They go together really well. That's Korean dish. Oh, they have this myeongranjeot. Now this is quite a delicacy in Korea. Crispy bulgogi. It's not just bulgogi, it's crispy bulgogi. There is crab legs. I am quite allergic to crabs and I honestly don't like how they taste. So we'll skip that for now. Okay, children, why don't I start with the sushi because I love sushi and sashimi.
Now, just by the looks of it, their sushi and sashimi look pretty good. Like, not as good as Japanese sushi restaurant good, but very nice and clean for a buffet. Alright, I'm gonna have to put it in my mouth.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but I like to put lots of wasabi in my soy sauce. It's like the only way of self-harm that I allow myself, besides jumping into a wrong relationship too quickly. Flounder sashimi.
This is just my humble opinion, but when you walk into a higher end buffet restaurant, you gotta really try their sashimi. Unlike other food that they might have, it's purely about the quality of the ingredient and how they're handled. So it'll give you an idea on whether the restaurant is playing cheap or not. That being said, I really like their flounder. Let's try their tuna as well. Looks like for tuna they're serving akami, which isn't as desirable as other cuts like otoro that are more flavorful, but I still want to see how good it tastes.
It's not the kind of tuna that would blow me away like the ones you would have in a very, very expensive sashimi restaurant in Japan. I still think it's very good. Salmon, everybody loves salmon, right? Wow, nice and firm, extremely well handled.
It looks like they're using the exact same fish for their sushi as well. I really like their sashimi, so of course I like their sushi too.
So far, I'm loving their stuff. It's very good. Now let's try some of their other stuff too. I got this gochujang stingray. The meat itself was okay, but it has a bunch of these little bones. braised oxtail.
I know it's oxtail, but it was too bony, and the meat was really tough in my personal taste.
Oh, let's try this 명란젓 as well. Some kind of a fish egg.
It was one of the better things that I've tried so far, and it would go extremely well with
Oh my
rice.
God. Crispy bulgogi with this rice noodles. I'm pretty sure this is how you're supposed to eat it. Okay, I don't want to be too critical, but that was more dry than crispy.
Forgive me for being a little too harsh on them, guys, but I'm paying a lot of money to be here, and it's hard-earned money that I made from you guys watching my videos. I have to make the most out of it. So it seems that some of what they have is really good, while some are okay. I'm gonna have to try some more.
Hamburg steak. My second round, I want to go a little more international. Oh, that's a snail. Why not? A grilled abalone? That sounds fantastic. Expensive too. Well, how did they know I love pizza? But why is there a fruit on top of pizza? That is kind of insulting. This is kind of interesting. They have japaguri, which was featured on the movie Parasite. Have you guys watched the movie? Pretty fantastic movie. So it's like a mix of two instant noodles. Why do they have instant noodles in an expensive restaurant? I don't know. Got a lot of good stuff. That's my second round. What do you guys think? This japaguri, I think the thought of serving this at a buffet restaurant is cute, but it's kind of like why? When it's on display, the noodles all get like bloated. How good could it be? Okay, it's not bad. It's pretty good. They added a little bit of beef.
This is more of a $5 buffet material, but I can't deny that to a degree I enjoyed it.
You guys probably didn't know this, but I am part Italian. Because when I eat bad pizza, I get very insulted.
Well, they'd better not make me angry.
The dough was too thick, too soft, and it's missing a good flavor.
To be fair, it wasn't horrible, but since this is an expensive buffet, I would have liked it to match a decent Italian restaurant. I was wondering what the snails would taste like. Maybe it's just me, but it just kind of tasted like mushroom.
I'm gonna try this lamb.
And my god, their lamb was super tender and super juicy. So far it seems that about half of the things that they have is really good, and the other half is just okay.
Oh wow. It's so tender. And there's like cheddar cheese inside. Let's get the steak as well. Just a touch bloody on the inside. It's just the way I like it. Abalone. It's one of those things that make me go, it's cool, I guess. But I just don't understand the hype behind it. Like, why is this so expensive? This time, I want something Chinese. Get some of these dumplings, maybe? I love Chinese dumplings. You can make your own udon here. I love udon. 우동은 어떻게 하면 되는 거죠?
우동은 여기 면이랑 야채랑 같이 해주시면 되세요.
Yeah, I'm gonna add the fish bowl, just one, bok choy. 여기 있습니다.
When you hand it over to one of the workers, they cook everything for you and then give it back to you.
감사합니다.
뜨거우니까 들어가세요.
네. Kung Pao chicken. Fried rice. Okay, let's have some Chinese food. Talking about Chinese food, there's something that I must talk about. You guys are probably going, oh, I know, it's about your Chinese ex. It is about my Chinese ex. But it's not one of those like bitter, sour stories. It's just a random story. My Chinese ex had a dog. You know, one of those little white Asian girl dogs. And she named him some English name like John, you know, something boring. So I was like, hey, you always express how much you love China. Why'd you name him John? You should name him Xiaolongbao or something. So she called him Xiaolongbao for like a few days and then went back to calling him John. Should have kept on calling him Xiaolongbao. But anyway, back to the food. You know what I will say about their Chinese food here? These are more or less basic Chinese dishes that you'll find in like PF Chang's or Panda Express, but like a good versions of them. I don't want to be too harsh. I don't think these are much better than Panda Express. Like, look at this Kung Pao chicken. There's like barely any chicken. I mean, come on, I'm paying a lot of money to be here. This fried rice really reminds me of those days back when I was in college in America with lots of dreams, but no money. And I get Panda Express all the time. Good old days, I don't miss it. I would like that bread. I like that bread as well. Don't you just love how they have a Belgian waffle? Oh, it's hot dog. It's hot dog that looks like a waffle. That's really cool. I really love the fact that they have a touch of tradition that all of us can appreciate.
I wanted to feel like a douchey rich guy that drinks wine, so I picked up some of the cheese and ham that they had.
Choritos, more crackers. You know, I feel like the times have truly changed. Because when I was younger, I am still young, but when I was even younger, I'd only go for the most expensive food every time I go to a buffet. But now that I'm old, it's more like I want to try a little bit of everything. I just want to enjoy it. Because at the end of the day, you are spending a lot of money, but what do you spend that money for? You're spending that money for your own joy. I think the point of going to a buffet restaurant is really not about making it a deal. It's more like you're paying for the freedom of being able to try a little bit of everything. That being said, nobody in Asia would be like, let's go get some strawberry jam and bread. But I don't care. I love it. Guys, I'm not sure. Is there enough butter and jam? Oh. Now I'm kind of excited for this one. It's Korean hot dog pressed in a waffle machine. Sounds like a stupid TikTok recipe. Lots of honey, lots of sugar, the cream and the pumpkin seeds. The amount of sugar in this, it should be illegal. It's enough to birth a small American man. In fact, I think there is an American man inside my belly by now. I'm gonna name him John. I wonder how I'm supposed to get the desserts. 저 크림 브릴레 하나랑 인기 많은 게 뭐죠? 아, 그런가요? 전 많이 안 하는 걸 좋아해서 초코 케이크랑 라스베리 다크 초콜릿 무스를.
He must have thought that I was very weird for asking for an advice, only to ignore it. But that's what makes me me. I like to pave my own path. You know, live my life dangerously.
Walnut tart. It appears that there's a little coffee bar here. And I, as a 100% fully Korean man, I love coffee. Okay, I'm gonna make it a challenge to make this lady laugh. 그냥 블랙 커피도 있나요? 아, 아메리카노? 네. 카페라떼 하면 라떼 아트도 해주시는 건가요?
네.
아,
라떼를 준비해드릴까요?
그것도 같이 주시겠어요? 네.
자리로 올려드리겠습니다.
아, 아트는 멋있는 아트 부탁드립니다.
네.
저한테 어울리는 걸로. She did laugh. Let's try this first. Can you guys hear it? The melted sugar, it's rock solid now. Tastes so sweet and creamy. I mean, the presentation could be a little nicer, but it tastes really good. Amazing. There's my coffee.
I'm not sure what this looks like to you guys, but I feel like this is some kind of a plant. I guess I gave her the impression that I'm a very well-grounded man. And if that's the case, I gotta say she saw right through me.
Wow, this is amazing. Little amount of sugar right here. I'm gonna start with this little cone. What is the point of this? That is adorable. There was like a tiny ice cream cone filled with cream. I guess I like it. That was pretty good. Oh, let's get this walnut cracker or something. To know that a hard-working lady over there made this specifically for me makes me appreciate it even more.
So with the desserts and this coffee, I think my lunch has come to an end.
I feel like that was a pretty amazing meal. Now, just comparing it to some of the best buffet that I've had in Korea, is it as good? No, in all honesty, I think they're a little behind on the variety and quality. Now, if I had to compare this to the $6 place, I have to say, just with my personality, I like being frugal, I like great deals. That being said, I think the $6 place is the winner for me, but everybody thinks and feels differently. So let me know what you guys thought. I'll be back with more amazing videos, so till we meet again, goodbye, my friends.
Well, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and watch my other videos right now.